can see the Tableau desktop. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's great. And before I start this, like I just want to know your expectation, like what's the
sure.
expectation of this demo and why you wanted to learn Tableau. These are my two questions.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. My background is basically a lot of data analysis. Like I've been a technical data analyst, and then I've been a BI data analyst, a business analyst, like among other data analyst roles in the past several years.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, what we are doing is our company is actually partnering with Tableau.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, like I have experience with Web Focus and Excel, and then a couple of other tools. But Tableau is something that we are looking at in terms of dashboarding and presenting it to the stakeholders for our clients.
Mm-hmm.
So my expectation for Tableau is like I want to see if I can get my hand on Tableau to see how I can use that as a dashboarding and tool, and not just for dashboarding. I want to see what I can do just beyond the capabilities of Tableau that like you perceive when you just know it. I mean, when you compare Tableau to like say another BI tool, Tableau is seen more of a dashboarding. So I want to actually explore and see what it can do
Mm-hmm.
as a reporting tool. So yeah, I mean I've had experience with other tools before, but dashboarding and the BI kind of a tool, Tableau is the first time that I'm encountering. So I want to see how comfortable I am, and this is something that I'm going to be working on in the next few months. So I want to get a feel of it. That's the basic reason why I wanted to see how this session is going, and
Mm-hmm.
if it works out, then probably I'll take a full-fledged class for a couple of weeks. So yeah.
Okay. And have you seen Tableau before? Maybe say have you opened some dashboards or it's just the first time you're
Yes.
seeing it?
No, I have played around Tableau
Mm-hmm.
before. Like I've looked at like I had the free trial for a couple of weeks, and I've just played around the Tableau public
Mm-hmm.
using the sample data set.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a little bit of a feel, but I don't know the like all the functionalities that it has and all the features it can do and like all the pretty things that it can do. So I do have a little bit of a feel, but not to a great extent.
Mm-hmm. I get it. I get it. So for this demo, I'll just show you some sample dashboard which we have already on Tableau, and I will talk about the functionality and how our training would be. So if I'm
Okay.
right, like if you that would be useful for you, or if you want it somewhere else, so I can help you with any questions like maybe regarding Tableau or regarding the training. I'll try to help you out as much as I can.
Okay.
So I believe like you might have seen this uh, sample dashboard. Have you?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've seen this. Yeah.
Mhm. So it's nothing much. They just took some coffee chains, sales data and just use the data as a dashboards. So if you could see, they have tried some data on a map and like as you know, Tableau can have like multiple charts. Like I'll just show you like what would be. I'm not quite sure if you've seen this menu, but these are one of the standard charts which Tableau will recommend based on the values which we select. This is called as dashboard. So where on a dashboard we'll have multiple worksheets. So if you see this table is a worksheet, this map is a worksheet, and these area charts are a worksheet. So what we did is like we'll create a worksheet, basically something like this, dragging drop things and creating a worksheet, and then on a new dashboard we'll be placing things. So when you're creating a new worksheet, Tableau will suggest things. So if you just click here, this and this, it suggests based on the selection which I've made, it suggests you can have a Gantt view or you can go with a normal table view. So table fixed tables. So this would be the standard forms of uh, chart which is available in Tableau, but you can create more than this. So it can be like uh, you can combine things or you can you will see some examples on online. We have something called Tableau Public where the authors like just like us, the bloggers who post different ideas on using Tableau. So it's that could be inspiration for us. We can reverse engineer from that and we can create different charts. So that's how I work. So to say about me, I have like 3+ years of experience in Tableau, and I work for a financial firm, and I am in an IT role of it. So we just create uh, dashboards on the readership data. So it's basically about how the reports are read and whose reports are read more, on which teams or which uh, type of subjects are read more, or what's the page length. So that's how my analysis would be.
Okay.
So I have created
Okay.
dashboards on various things like say maybe using quartiles, or maybe using top end, or even the top end, instead of showing just as a simple uh, I may not be able to show you the those dashboards that are actually uh, I don't have it right now, and also it's actually confidential. It's in my work PC. So I'm just giving you the idea how it might look. So it would be like something like a top end, where instead of showing on tables, we will show it in on a visualization using bubbles. So instead of like, you just imagine you have like bubbles in a straight line, and it will be connected based upon their rankings. So you get it, like how it might look.
Yes.
Yeah, something like
Yes.
that. Something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's my work, and here if you could see, like, we could make use of the standard charts here. So each of them, like the area bar, histogram, or the maps, the box plots and stuff. We will see those
Okay.
examples, on our other dashboards too. See, the great things about Tableau, if you see, like, it's kind of dynamic, it's kind of interactive, and the look of
Mm-hmm.
it is kind of attractive, and also for the developers it will be easy for them to create dashboards. And if you're quite familiar with Excel, we have something called as calculate field in Tableau, which is very similar to the Excel formula. So all we need to do is just write, if this thing do this thing, so it's going to be our sum of this plus sum of that. So that's how the Tableau works. It's nothing much, just we'll have, like, say, divide our data into dimension measures. Dimensions nothing but the like the place, dates, and stuff, which will divide our data. And measures should be nothing but which the values which can be measured. So as the name says, measures. So you know the
Mm-hmm.
difference between dimension measures, I guess, or if you're not clear,
Yes.
I can go there.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I'm familiar with it. Yeah. So dimension is more on the things which are non-numeric, right? Like
Yes,
that, and
yes.
measures are something more on the numeric value. So
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes. So we can create calculate field, the ones which you see
Okay.
equal to hash, which is nothing but the calculate field, where we will have some formulas. Right click it, edit will give you the editor. So it's just basically sum of profit by counting a customer name. So which they just take it as profit per customer. So these formulas would be used somewhere in our analysis. So that's how basically it works. And other things are called parameters, filters. So filters are the ones which it's like our var class. And
So
mhm.
parameters and filters are different, right? What is
Yes,
the difference between?
yes, that's what I'm going. So whereas filters, if you see, it's gonna be something uh, which will filter out data, and whereas parameters nothing but getting input, some any inputs from the user, and using the same on uh, the calculate field. Say for example, using parameters, on this particular example, they've just got some percentage. So based on the percentage, they have a calculate field which just gives them the sales forecast. So if you could notice it, you could see changes on the numbers. So whereas the filter, like, I'll just show the right click, show filter will just give you here. So filters is something which will remove our data. If you can see on the right, if I remove south, it just we got left with west, and you see west. So it's gonna be our, like, filtering our data. That's what it means. You get the point?
I understand what the filter is, but can you repeat again? I didn't understand what parameters can do.
Parameters where you can get some value from the user. Say for example, you can have them choose between two text, or say, or have them to give some percentage, or
Okay.
something like that. So it's like some, in filters, it's them, you just give them like a multiple choice option where you say, I want to view this data or view that data. Whereas
Okay.
a parameter is nothing but like a text box or like a drop down with a set of list. Like it could be up to you to give. So where based upon this you have a calculation something that. So
Okay.
you get some input, add it to your calculator field and use that calculator field in your view. That's it. It's not much
Okay.
complicated. Just consider it as a user input, a text box, something like that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these are the very few basic terms of our Tableau. So going back here for our dynamic and interactivity, we'll have like say these are the filters. So I could just view our data based on that. I can just change the order dates to particular range and view data only for the particular things. I'm not going to talk about what this uh, value says and what are these, but to say technically these are like sales on a bubble and the coloring is based on the profits which you could see here, and here that the area height is based on sales, the coloring is based on the profitable. Yes, and other thing is like when you click over something, like we call it as a dashboard actions. It's like instead of using these filters on the right, we use even uh, these points and these graphs. Everything is called as marks, M-A-R-K-S, marks in Tableau.
Okay.
So each of the mark will act as a filter for the other views. So that's how we could have like making it dynamic and interactive.
Okay.
You could see the outputs are getting refreshed. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah. So
So okay.
these are one of the features of Tableau. Or you could, I'm not sure if they are given interactive to this particular area chart. Let me try. If it, no, they are given only this particular map to be, it's to be applied on these two area charts. And also, I guess these are not supposed to change, only these two. So you are about to ask some questions. Please go ahead.
No, no, no. I was just gonna just looking at that data. I didn't have any questions. You can go ahead, continue.
Yeah. So moving on to the other charts, maybe I'll just go quicker. So they have just used the highlight tables to just the coloring on some measures, and this is some like a kind of bullet chart where they have a line to represent a thing, say median, and the bubbles to measure say the sales and profit stuffs. So would you like to see it very technically, or is it fine if we just say what are what? So what's your expectation of this demo?
Like expectations for like the demo or like for
For the demo, the
class?
training I'd be going on detail on anything, how to create things, how to create charts very similar to this, and everything very technically. But whereas demo is concerned, so just want to make sure I satisfy your expectation of the demo. That's why I'm asking you questions again.
Okay. I mean, you can just give an maybe like an overview of the technical things, and if the in the class maybe you can explain because the general things I already know in the sense what it can be done. So like you don't have to say that and repeat it. So maybe you can give a bigger picture on the technical side, and then in the class maybe when that happens we can talk about that in detail. So that will be, yeah, that will be better.
Okay, fine. So in that case, like all the charts, if you could see, like most of them, like they will have like some filters to be applied here. So if you click on something, it might reflect on others. That's how the dashboard actions work. And the filters are here if you see. And I'll show you examples of a parameter. So these are one example parameter. You can have it that you can either have it as a type in value the user can type. So I'll just change my quota. This is a parameter if you see. If you change my quota, this is getting changed. So basically we're getting the user instead of
Mhm.
we having multiple options, we are giving the uh, full flexibility to the user itself, so he can just select whatever the value he wants. He can just have like just 100 Ks, or he can have like even 500 Ks. So it's up to him to decide what should be our data replicator. So that's what parameter. You are you clear with the parameter, or can I go it again?
Yeah, so the parameter is a feature that the user will decide on what basis they can look at the data, right? Like filter
Yes.
is something that as a developed. Okay, so that's the difference between like primary
Mhm.
difference between the current. Okay, yeah.
Have you worked
Okay,
on
great.
SQL? Have you worked on SQL?
Yeah, I have a little bit of SQL experience. Yeah.
Mhm. So whereas a filter is nothing but the var class, and
Where?
whereas
Okay, where condition?
mm,
Okay.
filter in like a in statement. So it will like region in sales, sorry, region in central gamma
Oh,
east. You do not have any other
okay.
option to change. Whereas
Right.
the parameter is something like uh, unsymbol or unsymbol, I just forgot it. It will where the SQL statement will ask for user input and user will give the input. If you remember, it will ask for enter
I
for number and we'll enter some number. So based upon the user input, our SQL statement will return
Oh,
something like that.
okay. Makes sense. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even here on the parameter, you could have a like say this is like kind of a drop down. You are giving him a selected choice, but based on this, our view may or may not get filtered based on this value, but it will give us something else. So if this they are saying they want that to be the order of the sort is basically by this particular parameter. It's not you every value is there. We are not filtering it out, or we are not using any var class to reduce the value, but only just change the order. Like it's like kind of they have used like order by statements using parameter. You get it right?
Okay.
Yeah, we can go
Yeah,
it.
I got.
We can see its different types maybe on the training, but this is the high level of the parameter. So
Okay.
other few features are like we have a forecast functionality on Tableau where you could based upon values like I would personally say like forecast is not too good or not too bad. It's kind of okay. So if you have lots of data, the historical data, and it tries to find some patterns, and if it's okay, you will get some forecast here. And if it's little kind of not, it doesn't see any patterns, and we have lesser data, it's going to be either a straight line or you could even say no forecast. So it's purely based on the data. So there is nothing else. That Tableau just have a very basic thing I can just show you. Right click forecast, forecast option. This is a forecast one, nothing to do technically. We are not going to write any formulas for this. We just gonna choose between the models, different models which we have here. So we can talk very much technically on the training about these things. So this would be like how much you want for another say exactly 2 years, or it's based on your requirements.
Okay.
So other features, if you see, like as they have used the parameters to use a calculator field, using calculator field, you can do lots of steps. So we have like, you can write very complex, like as much as like complex statements is like, I don't think they have complex statements here. So complex statement in the sense like for example, I can find some what are the regional segment wise sales. Like if you just drag and drop here, you will just see the values based on the granularity of the value which we have on screen. But in some cases, we might need to see the grand total of the region or the grand total of something else which may or may not be relevant to this. In that case, we have something called level of detail expressions, which is actually a very complex and which is kind of advanced, and we'll have it to the end of our sessions. But that's our extreme of our Tableau, I'd say. So let me just check if you have something on that LOD. I'm not quite sure if they have used something there. Oh, they have used simpler formulas here. But that's how it works. You get the point?
Yeah, yeah, I understand it.
Yeah. And few things here other than this would be like we have like few we can make like lines, colorings, that clustering something very new in Tableau 10, and we could have like quartiles or on a scatter plot with a line, the quadrants, etc. So like here we could have like
So
quadrants. Yes, go ahead.
yeah, sorry. Can you just tell me what are the things that Tableau can do, like in terms of, like what are the all the core, like you can just list it. You don't have to show everything, but if you can show maybe a couple of things. I know that you just showed me a couple of dashboards and graphs, but what are the? Can you just tell me what are the things, all the things that Tableau can essentially do in terms of like a BI tool?
Mm, if in that case, like on the first thing which I would say is like it can connect to multiple sources. It
Okay.
need not to be the very single source. Like I'll just go file you. So as a BA tool, just not as a visualization tool. It has like say you could connect multiple data sources. These are the
Data.
multiple sources, and you can combine
Okay.
anything with anything. So if you
Okay.
say like you have data on an Excel and you have other part of the data on your SQL server and you need to join them, you can do it. So it's up
You
to
can
you
join.
to
Okay.
join it, or like what to say, you can have like different types of joins based on the SQL Server in Excel. So say I want to join just product names in the Excel and the product names details in the SQL Server. I can just say in a join with it and we go
You
with
can
it,
do a join. Okay.
or we can join. Whereas this is one of the great feature which is applicable from the 10. Before 10, it was not like that. You can use only one of the data source. That's how it was working for the Tableau 9, 9.3 and something. Whereas on Tableau 10, they
Okay.
have introduced new feature where you can combine multiple data sources to, you can join it and create some output from it. So here
Okay.
they,
Got it.
I guess they have not joined much. Let me check it. Edit data source. I guess they have not joined it. If you have multiple tables here or in different connection, you can just add it and just drag and drop. So the best thing is most of at least like 70 to 75% of the things which you do in Tableau will be drag and drop. So maybe
Okay.
writing formulas is one thing which you see something other drag and drop, and other thing would be you have to think which is the best way to represent the data. The tablet give you lots of option which may or may not work for you. The chart, like I would say, like this particular chart, the scatter plot, which may or may not be the best way to represent the your data on Tableau. So you can try with multiple options. You can see which could be applicable, or you can search through the online and see which could be, maybe you might feel this is best way to be represent on the side by side bar chart. So you have like lots of options here, and also the website which I said before, the public.tableau.com, there will be a very frequent updates, like many people will be creating dashboards here, so you could see many examples here, so which will be very
Okay.
inspirations for you to create something. So here there you could see it's a scatter plot. They have a coloring by something, the size of it by something. Here it's a very monotonous scatter plot, I would say, and here it's kind of a little more different. So you could look into it. You can even download a reverse engineer. We might see it, like how to do that in our trainings about like how
Okay.
to re-engineer. Like few things we can just see it and notice it. What is that? In some cases, they might have used some complex formula which we might need to download and reverse engineer it. So that's one great
Okay.
thing. You have like lots of options to choose between different charts, and the this particular website will give you different ideas of it. And we have called uh, community.tableau.com, where there is a active forum. You can ask any doubts and experts from there will try to help you out, or you can even create a support case to the Tableau itself and they will try to answer their questions. So it's kind of the one of the reasons why Tableau is active is because of their easy to use the GUI. Mostly most of things are drag and drop, and it's up to you to think. So instead of you writing the code, like it's you who has to think it to what is the best way to represent. You save your time on coding. That's what Tableau helps you. And other thing, as a general point of view on Tableau, if you see, uh, Tableau is something everyone uses. It's even my management uses Tableau. My clients management uses Tableau. So Tableau is something where it's easier. as a developer, we might need to create like choose between different charts, take the best concepts, best formulas, or maybe combine things. The the management guys would not be able to create the complex formulas, but they can just drag and drop and see their data. Just we are if we will just create them the right formulas and give them, they can even just drag and drop and see how they want to be. They might be comfortable with some charts, or they might be comfortable with, say, scatter plots or bar chart. They can just drag and drop it. So as a developer point of view, it's you who create the complex formulas, and others can just drag and drop and use it. Or you can even fix a particular dashboard and give access to them. So it's basically on that. And other
Okay.
reasons for Tableau is like mm, like we have something called Tableau Reader. So if you just save this file and give it as a Tableau Reader, so anyone can open that file unless and until they have access to the data source, or the if you see or we can, if it's an Excel, it's very good, I would suppose. So that's one feature of it. Other things is like that's lot more, but I've just highlighted at least the most of them. And we have something called data
Okay.
blending, which, as far as Tableau 10 is concerned, we'll be mostly going with joins. But whereas data blending is something like uh, it's kind of inner join. Instead of adding the really with the records, it's gonna be just on the Tableau itself. It's like kind of a join on Tableau and not really on the records. So if we showed here the joins, which would be like joining here on the record itself, whereas the Tableau blending will be joined on the just on the view. It's not really joining everything. I could really talk about it on a later session, but this is not like what to say. We may not use it very frequently. So this is a small feature of Tableau. I guess that's it. Like I covered most of the things. Maybe if you have something, ask me. If I know, I'll try to help you out.
So
Mhm.
yeah, sure. So how easy or difficult it is to learn Tableau?
It's easier. It doesn't need any prerequisite. So it's all you need. If you know Excel, basics of it, just the formulas, it's well and good. If you don't know, nothing much. So you really need
Yep.
not any prerequisite. It's just mostly drag and drop, and your part would be like to just understand the interface and understand how to write a
Okay.
formula. And for maybe like if you as days goes, you might need to write some complex formulas and complex things. You just need to know where and how to find it. So I just gave you some highlights. You can make use of the
Right.
Tableau public, or make use of the community, or make use of the support. So these three are the best ways to learn. Like I would not say after the end of training you'll be the expert in Tableau. I will not say like that. I will say yes, you'll know how to use Tableau, you'll know how to create calculations, you'll know how to create at least a dashboard which is presentable, which works fine, which is kind of like say it will get 7 out of 10, I would say. If you want more, if you want to really
Okay.
develop things, like you might need to uh, work like what is it, try with a trial and errors, or maybe to try to get some concepts, or maybe you can see some examples on our Tableau public and do stuff. So as the training point of view, I would say it's easier and not really much stuff to learn. At least the basics just takes few days. That's it. Just
Okay. And how long would you say it takes time in order to have a good hand in Tableau, like get a good grasp on it? Because like as I said, my company like they're planning to have a partnership with Tableau,
Mhm.
so they want me to be trained well in Tableau. So I'm just looking at the turnaround time on how long it will take for someone. I mean, as I said, I'm not totally new. I have a little bit of a basic understanding. So I'm just wondering how long it usually takes to have a good grasp on Tableau.
Answering that question is purely based upon our interest, the time we spend, the where we explore. Like I've seen
Okay.
from my case, like I may or may not be exceptional case. For me, like I just took maybe a 1 month to create new dashboards. Though I would say like after there are difference between the dashboard which I created on the first month, the dashboard which I created after 1 year, 2 year.
Okay.
But
Sure.
whereas
Sure.
at least I would say after at least a couple of months or couple of weeks of uh, like say you could create a good looking dashboard where you can at least present to your higher management. Maybe it might take some time to create some complex dashboards, or like what to say, the trial and error, the learnings might take some few couple
Sure.
of months,
Right.
but at
Right.
least on the first month you can create a good looking dashboard, uh, or even during the training you can create some good dashboards, I would say. So it's not something
Okay.
tough, or it does not need like what to say, you have to repeat it to learn. You'll just learn it as it goes. That's how Tableau
Got
works.
it. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And can you also give me a little bit of how do I say, an explanation on how the training for the class will be like? So will it be, and how long it is, like what, how would you cover? Is it going to be like a hands-on session? And can you just give me, because I just spoke to the front desk person at the Best in Technology. They didn't tell me how the training is going to be. So can you explain me how will it be?
Yeah, sure. And I would like to know if you're going to join the online training or the classroom training.
I can't be in the classroom training. I'm
Mhm.
not in Chennai, so I have to do the
Okay,
online training.
okay, where are you from? Like, sorry to ask a little so late.
I, yeah, I'm based in like in US.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Fine, fine, fine. In that case, like we'll be mostly having like online session based upon our mutual timings. Say, like our initial training would be like I explaining few things where what are the interface, what are these, like how to create that, and very at least explaining the chart, different type of charts, and we'll have like maybe say maybe after a quarter of the training or the half of the training, I would ask you to create some simple dashboard, or even some cases like I would even, it's purely based upon your interest and purely based upon your style of learning and style of training which you want. So I give the choice to you whether you want to create dashboard on the screen sharing, or you want to create something at some of your free time and share it across, and that's how it works. So on the initial I
Okay.
would be talking about it, and on the middle like I will give you some, maybe if you need I can give you some ideas to create dashboards on, or you can take your own idea and create some dashboard, so you can say how it was easy or tough, or what was the challenge which you face when you're creating a dashboard. And
Okay.
on if it's a screen share I can even point your things, so it's there, it's here, or if there's any error I can always point to it. And other few ways is like, if possible I would even suggest the uh, trainees to have their own data sets. So instead of I using this particular superstore sales, I use ask them to use their own data sets, and it will be easier for them to understand too. And also I will try to create some good looking dashboard using that. In some cases that data set may not work. Maybe for example if you have some data where ranking is not right on that. So in that case I will switch back to maybe say this superstore sales and try to the concept which we could not, or which is not appropriate to be done on the other data set, I'll be doing it here. And if like mostly it would be like interactive session where both of it talks and not just a one-way training. That's how the training would be.
Okay.
I guess like I would
Okay.
be the trainer, but I'm not quite sure if I will be trainer or if it's someone else. If I'm the training, this is way how the training would goes, and I guess
Oh,
most of the
okay.
process. Yeah. So it's
Okay.
nothing, no
And
particular. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, go ahead. It's okay. Yeah,
No,
go ahead.
what I said is no particular syllabus or no particular like what to say structure for the training. It's gonna be very. I will cover as much as I can, at least most of them, and the training would be like as flexible as it can be.
Okay. Got it. And how soon can we get it done? Like, I mean, I'm looking at like say probably like what 2 weeks. Can we cover all the topics and all the sessions and practice in like 2 weeks time? Is it possible, or does it take longer?
2 weeks is good. Like it's based on the time which you spent and also your learning capability that also does come in here
Okay.
and your exposure to it. Like say like even if I talk something about it, you may need to try later and like as far as my trainings are concerned, my trainee have said like it's easier for when I show things it feels easier, but when they try they feel it hard. So it's up to you to like what to say practice it or have some trial with it. We could
Okay.
go 2 weeks, but like it's based upon the each of the mutual timings. So
Sure. Okay.
maybe the trainer's timings and you, if you it's gonna be say like 2 hours each day or say like 1 hour each day, I would say even 2 weeks we could go. Let's see how the timings and stuff goes. If I gonna be your training, we need to look up the timings and see to it.
Okay. I think that kind of answers all my questions.
Mhm.
I'm just trying to think if I had anything else. Okay.
So you're basically from India or from US itself?
Yeah. No, I'm based out of Chennai.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, India.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. How about you?
I'm from Erode.
From Erode?
Erode, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you're Tamil too?
Yeah, Tamil too, Tamil.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So your good name?
Raju.
Raju. Okay, Raju. Okay, Raju, I think that answers all my questions that I had.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah. So but you said you don't know whether you will be training or someone else will be training,
Yes,
right?
I guess mostly it would be me, but I'm not
Okay.
very sure. I would not say I will be the trainer for sure. So you might need to check with them.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted the reason why did the demo was also to see what kind of like interaction in the sense of
Mhm.
how the training is.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I would like to, since you took the demo, I would prefer you to take the session
Mhm.
because because I explain all my questions and queries mostly to you, right? So I
Mhm.
don't have to repeat that all over again to someone new. So
Mhm. Yeah,
I would ideally prefer if you can take up the classes. I mean, for the timings and all, probably we can work out something that works out for both you and me.
yeah, sure.
So, but I'll let them know about this, and I'll try to get this started soon because, as I said, my company
Mhm.
already has like certain timeline before I need to finish this. So,
Mhm.
yeah, so probably I'll reach out to Besant Technologies again and then let them know I had the demo session, and then
Yeah,
I'll ask them how to take it from here.
sure, sure, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Fine. All right. Thank you so much, Raju. Thanks for
Yeah,
your time.
yeah. Thanks, Ashok.
Yeah.
See you. Bye.
Yeah.